Hey, Crafty Babes, it's Andrea. Hi, hope you guys are great. It is April, which means we have a brand new exclusive video for the Crafty Babe Crew. We also have an exclusive downloadable printable. This month, it's labels. We are going to talk about labels in this video. I'm super excited because I know that everybody knows about labels and that they're included in a lot of kits and a lot of die cuts include labels, but I don't know if you know my love for labels, but I need everybody to have the same amount of love for labels. So that's why we are going to focus on labels in the month of April. So your printable for April has been emailed to you. It's also in the group, so be sure that you look for that. Get all of those things printed out so that if you would like to join me as I craft along, you can make some of the things that we're going to make. We're going to make a couple of clusters to kind of show you just some basic ways to use labels, and then we're going to make a layout together, an unpocket page layout type of situation. Where we're going to see what we can do with some labels. So be sure you grab your labels. Let me try to not have a seriously blown out shot of these labels. Here we go. As you can see, I've already cut into them. We have, I want to say that there's at least 10 pages of different colors for each, for each page has hues of pink or hues of orange. So you're going to get a ton of labels to work with. And I also am going to share with you how I print one sheet of full labels that comes in the magazine. I'm going to show you how I print these two up. So as you can see, there's basically 2 pages side by side. Now, not every printer and printer settings will be the same, but I'm just going to walk you through how my printer does it. And then, yeah, I think that that's going to be it. I am really excited because, labels are my love language. And so I'd love to share that with you and show you some basic ways to use a supply that's relatively cheap and kind of available everywhere in order to do some cool things on your pages. So come on with me, grab your stuff, and let's get started. And if you are not a Crafty Babe Crew member and you're seeing this video after it's gone public on my YouTube channel, I will leave a link for the labels in my shop so that you can purchase the whole set of colorful labels and you can make whatever you'd like with tons of different color labels. And I hope that you enjoy this video. So I want to show you real quick how I get my labels printed to up. So what I have to do in my PDF program in my printer is I have to have the same 2 items in a page. I can't just say print this one page 2 times. So I'm just having to organize my print ready PDF. I'm just basically extracting the labels into their own pages twice, and then I'm going to combine those 2 items only to make a 2-page PDF. Now, I don't know what the software is, that's different, but for my printer, I have to have the 2 pages in the one PDF. So as you can see now, I have page 1 and page 2. They're exactly the same. And now I can go to print multiple. I do 2 per sheet. I do them vertically, and then I can just do my regular print settings. Mine prints borderless, but it doesn't matter here because they don't reach the edges. But I always just go and double check my print settings for what I'm printing. Now, when I print things with a lot of pinks or reds, I kind of manipulate the cyans and the magentas, so that that's just a personal preference for how my ink prints on my paper versus how it looks on screen. And then we're just going to print. I think that I printed the 2 and then now I'm just going to print 1 full sheet because I think I maybe ran out of labels. I just don't have a bunch left over because I've used a ton because I've been crafting a lot with issue number 23 printables. because they're just so pretty. So this is just me printing the second page, basically the full page. And then that's about it. And we can get started. And the reason that I like to do this is so that I can have two different sizes. I no longer do the two sizes. It's just a lot easier for me if I just have all of the labels be one size. That way, if you want them to be smaller, then you can just do however your printer does it with the 2-up and have your labels full size and smaller size. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much for being here again, and let's get into this project totally focused on labels. All right, we are going to get started. What we have here is some labels and cards and pictures we're going to use in a project in a minute. I have the issue 23 labels in half sheet and full sheet, and then I also have our exclusive Crafty Babe Crew download for this month. This is for April. So we have a sheet of blues, well, actually 2 sheets of blues. We've got purples, greens, yellows and oranges, pinks, reds. Oop. I've already been cutting into these. More pinks, more oranges, and contrasts, blacks and grays. So we're going to just have this as an option for as we go through and make some things. So I think what we are going to start with is not the page, because we need some warm-up crafts. I think what I'd like to do is just maybe grab some, this is what I did not plan for, but let's just grab some issue 23 cards since we've kind of got this color scheme going on with the embellishments that I've picked, the washi and the stamp pads. We are going to just pick a few cards. I'm going to pick some cards that have more of some white space so that it lends itself easier to being able to add a label to it, because I really want to show you what the versatility of a label can bring to a card. It doesn't just have one use. So I want to make sure we just kind of talk about the different ways that we can use them. And I want to do some layering. So I am going to bring out just a couple of these. I know that I have them right here, but these are kind of already like, they're already out there and half cut out. This was a good one, already cut out. And we'll do this light green. Okay, we're just going to pick these. We're going to make that part really simple. And then, so the very basics of the label usage is basically as journaling. So you can use these little areas as a place to stamp a sentiment, a place to write something, a place to stamp the date. So I've got a couple of date stamps here. I think we could easily use the issue 23 stamp. Actually, let me grab it. Oh, there's the issue 24 stamp. Where is homegrown? Homegrown, where are you? You are hiding from me. Oh my. Literally every single other stamp I own. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, way in the back. Okay, so these stamps, the full sheet, are fairly large, but that's a little too much. But let's pick a couple of these smaller sentiments and just let's give it a play. Okay, so I've got a little bit of orange here, but I didn't grab my dark green. Let me actually grab pine needles. No, that's the wrong, that has too much blue in it. I think the Lucky Clover is the one I said goes well with this. I feel like that's not the right color either. Let me refer to my stamp sheet. Hold the phone. That's what my dad used to say when people came to the door or came to the phone. Rustic Wilderness. Okay. That's what we're going to use for the dark green. Okay. Let's go Okay. Sorry, I keep saying, okay, okay, okay. This is a good one right here. It has a lot of white space and it doesn't say anything yet, right? It says nothing. We have no idea what we want to do here other than let's do this light green label. And then actually we could do, stay with me. I mean, that's cute. That's cute. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So we don't need to cut this one out. The other thing we could do, which I might as well just show you, this could be an option. We could do this on another card or on another little embellishment situation, is layer them. I love to layer and stack labels. So you could do like that and just have a little bit of that light green peeking out. Now, it's not really necessary. I mean, it adds some interest. It is kind of cool. It would be cool if there was some light green in here or something. Like we could use the brown color because that would kind of pop off of this, like the shadow, but it's not necessary. I don't think it's necessary right now. Let's just hold off. Let's just keep it simple. So I would probably stamp first before I tried to adhere it. Just because you don't want to have this bump right there with the layering. So let's see, let's say we're going to use Good Stuff. Let's say currently. Let's do currently. That's nice. Okay, now where do we want it? We want this to hang off the edge a little bit here. And we've got this veggie garden word right here. Now, I don't know if it bothers you to have words close together, but sometimes it's okay. So I think we could give it a little bit of space there at the edge and then be able to cut that off. So we'll go ahead and stamp this. And I'm going to stamp it in the Rustic Wilderness. If you haven't used a stamp before, I would suggest that you do a couple things. You can do a practice stamp, so like stamp off, or if before you do that, you take it off of the backing and then just like rub it on the back of your hand. There's always a film, and it's not an apparent film, but it's just part of the manufacturing, part of the process, and you're kind of cleaning it off. You're kind of erasing that manufacturer's, I don't even know what it is. It's like everybody calls it a film, but like a film is something that you feel like you could peel, and you definitely can't peel it. You can't really even feel it, but you can tell a difference if you stamp enough. You can tell that you get a cleaner impression from a brand new stamp after you've kind of like funked it up. That's what Susanna used to call it when she would do live stream. She'd call it funk it up. Get your skin funk on it. So I'm going to get just a little bit. This is a pretty juicy stamp, so I'm going to tap lightly and then just right in the middle, a gentle rock, and that's a really nice impression. I always clean off my stamps as I go, especially with Distress Oxide stamps, because they don't completely dry, and so it's not like it's not gonna stain. And if you go to use it again, there's probably going to be leftover color on your stamp, and you don't want colors mixing up, and you don't want your weird colors getting into your ink pad. So I just always clean up before I move on. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is figure out how we're going to adhere this. I think it would be fun to just throw a couple staples in it. That's kind of like my go-to. Adds a little bit of interest. And I think I want to try to get both things stapled together. So we'll just do like a shoop shoop. That's cool. And then we can cut this little edge off. And that is one way And that's just one way to use a label. So let's do something else where we can maybe layer them and do something a little bit different, or we can add to this. So I think maybe what we could do is, let's see, I've got this. I'm just going to kind of see what I have and see what might be fun. That's a little too much. We could, nope. Sometimes less is more, you know, like there's just no reason. There's no reason to put anything here. I think it's good. Okay, let's move on. I think we could make a little, let's make a little embellishment. How about that? How about we cut out, let's cut out one of these flowers, or let's cut out two of these flowers and we'll layer them. And then we'll use these other orange. We're going a little bit on the orangey side today. I just feel like these are cards that I haven't quite gotten around to using yet. So they're kind of just what I have in my stash. Boy, I would love to be working with issue number 24 stuff today, but you know, I cannot show that to you guys just yet. It still has to be a secret, but I really think you're going to love it. Okay. I'm using purposefully, I'm using this one that's an edge piece because I think it'll look really cool. So we can pop that off of that. Now I'm just testing the waters here. Nothing's permanent or, you know, decisions haven't been made, but these are just kind of like where my eye wants to put that at the moment. This one, I think I'm going to leave a little bit of orange around the edge. I don't know how it's going to look. I'm kind of winging it here. I'm very much still not used to talking while I craft. I'm a very quiet crafter. I mean, I listen to music and stuff, but I craft alone 99% of the time. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I like it with the orange border, but it can get stuck up there like that. Now, what do we do about something to kind of back it? What if we did just a piece of paper, just like a random scrap? What if we did that? I feel like that's too much flowers, too many flowers going on there. I feel like that's way too busy. We need something like this. Oh, now I like that. Okay, let's just cut a piece out. You could use a punch. You could punch it into a circle maybe. You could do this on a 3x4 card. But just kind of giving you an idea. What I love to use labels for as well is to kind of anchor things, to kind of give things a shelf to sit on. Because look at how different that looks without, I mean, okay, that's cool. But what if you just had them sitting here floating like that? Well, that's not very cool. You could pop this underneath there. Then it has kind of a place to rest. You're giving it a little shelf. Now you could go all the way to the bottom and then do this one up here. And then maybe what we do is cut out this one. This one's a little bit different and it's smaller. And then we can pop it along the edge of the top there and have it not even touching the label at all. Kind of just hanging off the top edge, because why not? I feel like it'd look good. Just fussy cutting. It's a good thing I don't mind it. Okay, so we could have it, that one, I don't want to get cut off. That looks cool. Okay, so let me just pop that right there. Actually, I will just zoop, trim it off. Okay, I do think that we need to not use the green label. I think we need this orange label. And I like the light orange. Let's see how it looks, because then I feel like the flowers would pop a little bit more. But essentially, you're just giving these little die cuts a place to live. You're just giving them like a little home to sit on, like a little shelf. Oh, I like that. We could eat, ugh, hello. We could have even used the pink, but I like this. Yeah. We could have these two be up here together, but I kind of like that these are down here together and that one sits. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, we're just going to make some decisions and glue it down. So in a situation like this, I would definitely not staple, just because I feel like this isn't utilitarian enough. You know what I mean? Okay, we'll get the label down first. Not too much glue at the end, because I know we're going to cut that off. And then, now the question is, do I want it at that line or to cover the full? I think I want to cover the full label there. And then this, we could actually use some foam to pop that right up, give it a little bit of dimension. Now it won't get tucked under, but actually I still kind of like that. Let's see. If we did tuck it under, that would look weird. Yeah. I like it. I like it on top. It's all good. I like that. And then we can just trim this off too. And now this could be a little embellishment or something that you put inside of a pocket, or you can use it in your projects. So that's another way to use a label. Let's do some layering. So I've got this one, this little card right here. And we've got this green and we've got this pink. And I like sometimes to use the different shaped labels. So I don't know if you've noticed, but just in case you haven't, there are two shapes to the labels that come with each magazine, and they are rounded or the beveled edge. Now, obviously the beveled edge is much easier to cut. You're not having to cut these round edges, but again, nobody needs to be perfect with these. And that's me talking, which means I've come a long way with perfection issues because I would have probably spent way too much time on that. Now, this would probably be a great place to use these smaller ones. Now, do I want to do that? Do I want to cut those out? Do I want to use a different color? We don't have to use these labels, actually. Let's take a look at some of the other labels that I like to keep in my stash. So I have been getting the Ellie Studio label sheets because they come with 2 sheets and a lot of different sizes, and they're just stickers. So they're really easy to peel off and go. And also the Felicity Jane sticker sheets. And I've just got some older, or actually these are from Retro Hip Crafty Party. So I just tossed these in there. But the Felicity Jane sheets, they usually come in packs of 5 in different colorways, depending on if she's made them for specific kits. So these are really cool because there's just a lot of different designs and they're different shapes as well. So maybe we could use a combination of a couple of these. Ooh, I like this, the mint color. That's really cute. What about the mint? No, that doesn't look good with that, with the wood. What about though, a black. That might be cute. That would be really striking. So the mint and the black and the wood. Actually, that looks really good. Okay. So let's see. We could do, sometimes I like to just put one right there in the center on the top. And then we could say, what's today's date? March 27. And I don't have a good mint. Speckled egg might be good, but it has a little too much blue in it. So I don't want to risk these not really matching. So I'm gonna stick with black stays on, and I'm just gonna type. I'm gonna stamp the date. March 27th. I'm gonna ghost these dates and do 2 like that. Actually, nope, it already dried. I was gonna do 3, but it dried quickly on me. Okay, so that's another thing that you could do. Now, if you wanted to add more labels to this, something else you could do would be, ooh, let's use this one that's already in half. And you could go right along the bottom edge, and you're just basically creating another point of interest. And you could put something else down here, like right now, you could do a little, oh, I think I have like a little trio of hearts or something. Oh, I know. Let me find what I'm looking for. Oh, this would be cute. Okay, there's enough room, I think, for this. It's this ampersand. Now, this kind of goes like it's a little bit bigger than the label, but I think that's really cool. So, but just be careful about stamping off of your paper. You might want to get something to go underneath it. So let me just protect my desk. And then we'll stamp in black again. Now I haven't stamped with this yet, so I want to make sure that that little extra bit of stuff is off and it's nice and primed. It's kind of like seasoning your cast iron skillet. You know what I mean? Okay, that's going to look good. Okay, I dig it. Yeah, it has I was like, I thought maybe I smudged it or something, but the font itself is a little bit on the typewriter-y side. So it has like a little bit extra character in the image itself. So it's all good. So that is another way to utilize labels. You're just kind of adding a place to put embellishments. I dig that. Okay, let's make a page and let's see the places that we can utilize a label or 5. You just never know. So I'm going to clear away stuff that I don't think we're going to use because I already have the pictures and I have the cards that we're going to use. And I have some embellishments. And we can possibly use a stamp. I'm going to put these labels back. All right. So these are all potential colors that we could use. But I feel like I will be digging into the yellows and seeing if I can find anything because there's a lot of yellow in these photos. So I picked So I picked some photos of my new spring home decor. And there's a lot of yellow. So we're going to work in my Fringe notebook. And then I've got 2 cards. So the green goes pretty well, and then the pink, that way I can use some yellow and green and pink embellishments. But this way I feel like the yellow really pops off of the pictures when I'm not using a yellow card. So let me pop open my Fringe notebook and we'll find the next page that we can use. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I've still got some more February and March photos. And I don't keep it exactly chronological, but I do kind of leave enough room so that the months are at least next to each other or together. Okay, so we've worked on a pocket page before. I'm actually going to throw a little something underneath here because I don't know what it is about my style, but I tend to do a lot of clustering and layering like on the bottom right corner, and therefore everything gets kind of popped up in this one particular area, and so then things are not even, but we will work around it. So I'm just going to lay these out, and I know that I'm going to have photos next to photos, and I'm just going to live with it because I don't have an even amount of cards and photos, and it's totally all good. Okay, I think that's good for now. The 2 like major green things are kind of balancing it out here. Then I have some light and light. I think we're good. The pinks are not competing. Okay. So I know that, let's see where we are here. Oh, good. I just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm working with here. Just trying to get some things out of the way. No, you can't see that. Okay. We're gonna work on this. There. Maybe that's more helpful. Okay. I definitely think I want to try to use this little die cut from Citrus Twist, and I would love to use either one of these from Color Cast Designs, but it feels a little too bright to go with this. So what if I feel like then that's just too bright for these? I feel like it's just more of a muted green. So I will save this. But I've got a doily I could use. Maybe here. Maybe I could cut it in half. That's not exactly half, but I wasn't exactly going for half. Just a nice way to break up a little bit of that. Even though I kind of like that piece underneath, I might flip it around. And then I've got this little leaf situation. I just feel like it's really big and kind of distracts from everything else. It's kind of not necessary. I've got this cute little Today 2x2. I could fussy cut the Today out and leave some of the pink inside. That would be cute. And maybe I'm going to put it here right now because that feels good with the pink. And I think if I trim it out, then it won't be as much pink and it won't be as competing. And I also have these florals and this little So Many Projects, So Little Time. See, these aren't really projects though, but the color really feels good. Actually, I could put it here because this is technically it's my task list. Or I could put it here. Oh, that would be cute. Okay, and we could use a label. boom, this is a perfect place for a label. The other thing I wanted to try to do with utilizing the labels in this is to kind of label each photo. And that's something that I've done before when I don't have room for journaling, because typically I don't leave a ton of room for journaling. It's not my first thought. So then I kind of have to improvise. And part of that is, you know, on purpose. I typically don't have a lot of words to say about stuff. I let the photos and the die cuts and words in the product, I sometimes let them speak for me, maybe too often. But I kind of had an idea that I would utilize labels to kind of, you know, like put one on the edge right here that says, you know, I love my plant area, or, you know, because this is really about, I sit in this chair all the time, and you know, it's kind of, I don't know, but I love this view. And then I could, you know, put a little label up here and say something about this. So I think maybe that's what I will do. I'm glad that I remember that I had that thought. Okay, so let's cut up some labels that are the right, I think this is going to be the right color yellow. I think, yeah, these are too orange. So let's get trimming. And these labels that you're getting in April are slightly smaller than a full page size that you would normally get. That's going to be 3 wide. So they're going to be a little bit smaller, but they're also not going to be as small as if you were to print those regular ones side by side. So they're right in the middle. I think they are a really, really good size. For the sake of time, I'm going to only utilize the ones that are beveled so that it's not as tedious for me to cut them out. And I might end up fast forwarding through some of this cutting if I decide that I don't have anything to say, but I might. So I will use the same color multiple times, but I will try to, you know, my goal obviously would be to spread them out. What happened to my pinks? Did I lose my pinks? Did I put them back? Did I think I was getting them out when I got the oranges? Because I know I had a whole sheet of pink. Oh, there they are. And let's see, I think this pink right here will be perfect. So I'll cut out 2 of those, and then I'll cut out 2 greens because that's 6 photos. And I think that'll be great. And then I think we need to do, I think this green here on the edge. All right. So this page, or these photos, are from my little spring refresh that I did in my family room. Last year, for the first time in a long time, introduced pink back into my decor. Back in, gosh, I want to say like the very beginnings of my blog days, like 2010, 2011, I was on this like bright orange, yellow, and pink kick. So I had all kinds of stuff from Target. It was just one of the, you know, popular color combinations back then. And I went all in. My mom and I even made a quilt that I hung on the wall, and I did all kinds of DIY projects. But pink hasn't really come back into the rotation until last year. And so this year I wanted to just add a little bit more, since thankfully my husband doesn't like make a big stink about things like that. but I did end up taking a little trip to Hobby Lobby to just find a couple of things. I actually went there just to find a new blanket for my chair and a pot for my new Monstera, and thankfully I did find those things. But I also found some other things. So that's what we're doing here, is just documenting. I love to document the different ways that I decorate my house, and I change it up quite a bit because I live here, I work here, I'm here all the time, and I kind of just need to see something different every now and then. And I have pared down a lot of my decorations, but everything that I've kept is stuff that I really, really love, and I want to see it, but I don't want to see it all the time, because that would just be really against my kind of minimal decor style that I've been trying to go with. And so the more often I change out my stuff, it means I can enjoy more of my things, but I just don't have to enjoy them all at the same time. So here is what things look like in my house in the spring of 2022. And I'm really loving it. This whole room situation makes me very happy. So this would be a really fun layer thing like that. Actually, I don't like those two greens too close together. So let's use the yellow. Okay, loving that. Obviously, it's not perfect. We're just placing things down. I like that green with that green. That looks good because we already have a lot of pink going on over here. And I think maybe some green. Now, I don't have to put them all on the edge, but I do have the space to do that, and then it would provide some consistency. Okay, so I have placed all of my labels where I want them, and I did some hanging off the edge and some on the picture. I felt like since they were all around the edge, it felt really weird that they were all just around the outer edge, and I wanted some to be kind of pulled in. But I think also I'm going to cut out this. Actually, I might go with the actual green from this issue and go with this green, because I'm thinking that this little yellow, what is this? This little die cut. I feel like that needs a little bit of help. And I think it would be really cool to use a label and kind of tie in all of the pieces here. But if it doesn't look good, then we just don't use it, and that's all good too. I might also, actually, let me pull this down here and kind of, what if I also used some of this pink washi? Now, I don't know how this is going to look on the green because it is, you know, it's transparent, and so it's not going to be as crisp, but I could pop this onto a piece of white cardstock. Yeah, see, it just doesn't pop as much. So I think I am going to do that. Let me just use a little scrappy scrap here. And then we'll just make it look like washi. And yeah, we're faking it. But it's all for the sake of the design. And nobody will ever know, except for everybody that's watching this video. And then we'll just tear the edges so that it looks like proper washi. And then let's see if I can pick this up. So would it look cool like this? Actually, I think so. So like clustering, it's like all three pieces need to be touching somehow, some way. And I think this really works nicely. Now the other option would be to have this, oops, on this side so that it kind of clusters up here next to this little star cluster, which actually I think I like better. And then this can actually get moved. Oh, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see it. I'll try to zoom in. Come on. Yeah. Okay. We're good. I like that. I dig that. Okay. We're going to roll with this. And I think, how do I want to get this down? So the little die cut, or the yellow die cut's already sticky. So I might just throw a couple staples in here because that's what we do. Oh, actually just one looks nice. All right, now it's on there. I don't even have to use glue. Love it. And then it's got just the right amount of pink to pull all the places. Okay, before I forget, actually, I'm gonna turn this down. Oh, you know what? No, that's weird. I don't like that those are next to each other. We're just gonna put it back. And maybe we'll lower this a little bit. Because you can't, it's okay if it hangs off. I think that's kind of cool. And yeah, I will pop all those little insides out. There's a name for those. Oh, I just looked it up the other day because I was looking at this infographic that was the anatomy of typography. And it's called, I'm going to have to look that up because I really need to know. Let's see. Let's do it together. Oh, hold on. We're going to figure this out. Okay. It's called... Where are you? Oh, this is the wrong one. No. This one doesn't have all of the pieces. It only has the pieces of the actual type. It's called the counter. Oh, it's called different things within different letter shapes. Well, this is fun. I didn't know that. So in an E, it's called the I, but so it must be called the I when it's in an A as well. But if it's inside of an O, it's called a counter closed. If it's inside of a C or like an H, it's called a counter open because there's like an opening. But I swear there was a completely different, like name for it. Okay, I found something else. It's called a counter. But unless it's an E, it's called an I, like EYE. If it's an E, it's an I. Yeah, it's called a counter. Okay. Counter closed, not a counter open. Now we've learned something, friends. I knew it existed. I'm taking all the counters out. So, but that didn't specify that it was like parts of letters that are like cursive or scripty. It's only really referring to like a basic letter shape. So I don't know, maybe when it's script, I bet you anything they're still called counters. They're not called guts. I'll tell you that. But sorry for my reach. If these things end up on my desk, I'm gonna get frustrated because they're teeny tiny little annoying pieces. Okay, that looks good. Oh, that looks so nice. Okay. And then this would be a great place for just a smidge of journaling. Okay, I'm liking this. I think at this point we need to glue because I feel like everything's where it needs to be. So we are going to, yikes, glue everything down. But since I know that I'm going to put these here anyway, I am just going to glue these down. That way they don't get all shuffled around and lost. And I just kind of don't like when I'm really trying to get down to the nitty-gritty of the page. I don't like things moving around. I like things to be stable and where they're going to be and where they're going to live. So that when I'm placing new things down, you know, I'm not like questioning if things look good with the things that are already there, because the things that are already there are like where they need to be. Like they're put away. Everybody's where they need to be. Okay, so for this, I hate the liquid glue that I have. I don't like this scrapbook.com adhesive. It comes out too runny, or not at all. And I want to go back to my fine liner, but I don't know where it is at the moment. So I'm just gonna dab. I really wish that this came, I don't think I would mind it as much if it came with the lid that like had a thing that went inside so that it didn't dry up, because that's the issue, is that the nozzle dries up. And then it comes out so uneven that it's super annoying. Oh, shoot. Missed a step. Hurry. Oh my gosh. And now I have sticky fingers and it's sticking everywhere. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. Oh my word. Whew. All right, we're good to go now. Okay, so let's get this last label on. Oops. And then we'll figure out what we're doing next. Okay. I mean, honestly, this is such an easy page because it's like practically done at this point. So all I'm going to do is add some things to the labels, whether that's like words or maybe just my handwriting. Might add a little, like this would be super cute here, this little mini white paper clip. So like that is super cute right there. And I don't have a good green mini wide, but I have this like normal green one. What if I did the green one here? Oh, that looks cute. Because then you've got the green kind of coming in several places. And then I could do a yellow one here. No, I don't want two right there. I could do it here. That's cute. Okay. I'm digging this. I don't think I'm going to need any of the washi. I do have, oh, this might actually be cute right here to kind of like give a little space for that, for the journaling. I might do a little, I'm going to put some lines here in pencil just to kind of see if I might want to have a little bit of journaling here, or maybe the date can go here. So I'll do a couple lines right there. It's kind of bugging me. Come on, buddy. That's better. So I think here I will do March Heart 2022. I love this Felicity Jane date stamp because if you don't want to put the actual date, like the day numbers, they have hearts or dashes. So I think I'll just do that right here. So what color? If I'm probably gonna write all of my things out anyway, so I'll just write, it'll be black ink. So I'll just stamp this in black. I'm actually gonna get rid of these since I know that's what I'm gonna do here. Just one. Stamp off, and then yeah, I'm gonna write a little something, something. Okay, well, I just went simple and went pretty and pink. And I think that we are done. So I think that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. I hope that you use labels even more now that you see how versatile that they are. They can be used for layering, for journaling, for a date stamp, just for adding a little bit of color and texture to your layers and clusters. And yeah, we made a whole layout, journaling with labels, and we made a couple of really fun little cards and clusters. Labels to me are a huge staple in my stash. I use them everywhere. Every single page of mine, almost every single page of mine has a label of some sort somewhere. Most of my projects do. Maybe not all of them. That may have been a slight exaggeration, but that's okay. You know, I love them. Labels are my love language, and I hope that they become yours as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.